Namaste. Welcome to Gorkha News with me, Nirmala Basnet. Let us start the news bulletin with the top stories of the day. With the onset of Durga Paksha, the number of devotees has increased in Shakti Peeths across the country. Butwal Chamber of Commerce and Industry Rupandehi has brought low-price market operation for Dasai since Thursday. Nepali Congress freedom fighters are worried that the party leadership is not going in the right path. Let us proceed with the news. With the onset of Durga Paksha, the number of devotees has increased in Shakti Peeths across the country. Devotees were uncomfortable to visit as the risk of corona increased during Durga Paksha last year. As the risk of corona is decreasing this year, devotees have been flocking to Shakti Peeth since morning. Devotees are flocking to Shakti Peeth as the government has resumed the public holiday on the day of Ghatastapana. Let us watch the full news. With the onset of Durga Paksha, the number of devotees has increased in Shakti Peeths across the country. Devotees were uncomfortable to visit the risk of corona increased during Durga Paksha last year. As the risk of corona is decreasing this year, devotees have been flocking to Shakti Peeth since morning. Devotees are flocking to Shakti Peeth as the government has resumed the public holiday on the day of Ghatastapana. Devotees thronged the Devi temple on Thursday even when Navaratra is not observed. Autumn is considered to be the best time to worship Ashwin Shukla Paksha Devi. At this time, after the rain, the atmosphere looks pleasant and sunny. It is a national festival of Nepal, also celebrated as Bada Dasai. From the first day of Bada Dasai, special worship of Navadurga is performed in every house. Butwal Chamber of Commerce and Industry Rupandehi has brought low-price market operation for Dasai since Thursday. The association has targeted the Dasai and brought a low-price market in the premises of Bal Mandir in Butwal for the convenience of the general public. Ujjwal Prasad Kasaju, president of the association, informed that new notes from Nepal Rashtra Bank have been placed in the low-price market for the convenience of the general public. Let us watch the full news. Butwal Chamber of Commerce and Industry Rupandehi has brought low-price market operation for Dasai since Thursday. The association has targeted Dasai and brought a low-price market in the premises of Bal Mandir in Butwal for the convenience of the general public. Ujjwal Prasad Kasaju, president of the association, informed that new notes from Nepal Rashtra Bank have been placed in the low-price market for the convenience of the general public. He informed that the operation was not to make profit in the low-price market but to provide convenience to the people. Speaking on the occasion, Minister for Industry, Commerce and Supplies of Lumini State, Ajay Shahi, expressed confidence that the low-price market that came into operation during the festival would be comfortable to the general public to some extent.
अनुगमन गर्न जाने भन्नुहुन्छ सायद उहाँहरुले गरिराख्नु भएको होला आफ्नो तर्फबाट राम्रै गर्नु भएको होला अझै पनि मैले भन्न चाहन्छु कि अझै पनि हाम्रो यहाँ जनतालाई सुविधा दिनलाई तपाईहरुले प्रत्यक्ष रूपमा अझै पनि अनुगमन राम्रोसँग गरेर उहाँहरुलाई सहुलियत प्रदान गर्नु होला.
According to the organizers, the low price market will be operational from Thursday, that is from Ghatastapana on Ashosh 21st to Panchami on Ashosh 25th. Nepali Congress freedom fighters are worried that party leadership is not going in the right path. Let us watch the full news. With the demise of Krishna Prasad Vatrai and Sushil Koirala, the Congress has lost its leadership. The General Congress understands that the deserving and capable cadres who have left the party are in hiding, while the people of contract, lease and business background are dominating the leadership. What BP, the founder of the Nepali Congress, said at the time is still relevant today. Recalling what BP said at the time, Tilak Prakash Kayastha, a democracy fighter, said that the warriors who would lead the Nepali Congress and work for the party would be left behind. Looking at the current political situation in the Congress, he remembers what BP said at the time. Kaisla said that BP had said that those who had given their lives for the party would get a place in the party only after sincere activists raised the flag of agitation against the Sukila Mukilas for the defense of democracy. Leknath Nupani, a former Nepali Congress MP, said that he does not see the current state of the party as different from what BP said. He understands that the leaders of the Nepali Congress are now selling their morals. Complaining that Congress, Communist and RPP have not worked honestly, he said that leaders now are proud that they can spend more money than their cadres. The CPN Maoist Center has decided to send 3 ministers and 1 minister of state to the government. Let us watch the full news. The CPN Maoist Center has decided to send 3 ministers and 1 minister of state to the government. A meeting of the party's standing committee held at the party's Paris Danda office decided to appoint Devendra Paudel, Shashi Shrestha and Maheshwar Gahat Raj as ministers on behalf of the party. Similarly, UCPN-M spokesperson Krishna Bahadur Mahara informed that the meeting decided to make Vodmaya Yadav Minister of State. He said that the ministry has not been finalized yet. Similarly, the meeting decided to resolve the dispute in a new way, considering the dispute over the election of office bearers of the party, said Mahara.
एउटा एजेन्डा भएको विद्यार्थीको चालु अधिवेशन सुरुमा चाहिँ उत्साह र उमङ्गका साथ उद्घाटन सुरु गरियो, अन्तिममा समापन त्यही ढङ्गले हुन सकेन। त्यसलाई एउटा नयाँ ढङ्गले फेरि छलफल गर्नु पर्यो र समापनमा देखिएको केन्द्रीय समिति बनाउने तयारी बनाउने काममा फेरि एकचोटि बसेर हामी छलफलमा टुङ्गो लगाउने भन्ने निष्कर्षमा पुग्यो। विद्यार्थीको बीचमा यति मात्रै हो।
From the Maoist Center, Janarjan Sharma and Pampha Vishal have become the ministers of energy, water resources and irrigation in the current government. After the news, it is time to take a small commercial break. Coming up next is the Corona update and other events around the country. Stay tuned to Gorkha News. After the commercial break, welcome back to Gorkha News. Let us continue with the rest of the news. Chief Minister of State 2 Lal Babu Raut has received a vote of confidence in the State Assembly meeting. In the State Assembly meeting, 77 votes were cast in favor of Raut. This is 2/3 of the total 104 State Assembly members. Similarly, 23 votes were cast against him and 100 votes were cast in the meeting. Let us watch the full news. Chief Minister of State Lal Babu Raut has received a vote of confidence in the State Assembly meeting. In the State Assembly meeting, 77 votes were cast in favor of Raut. This is 2/3 of the total 104 State Assembly members. Similarly, 23 votes were cast against him and 100 votes were cast in the meeting. Chief Minister Raut was voted in by the ruling Nepali Congress and the UCPN Maoist in a 5-party alliance. After the Janta Samajwadi Party split into Democratic Socialist Party, Chief Minister Raut sought a vote of confidence. A replacement bill has been introduced in the meeting of the Lumbini State Assembly amid the boycott of the main opposition party CPN-UML. On Wednesday, Minister for Economic Affairs and Cooperatives Krishna Dhoj Khadka presented a new budget replacement bill of 40.95 Arbor rupees. Let us watch the full news. A replacement bill has been introduced in the meeting of the Lumbini State Assembly amid the boycott of the main opposition party CPN-UML. On Wednesday, Minister for Economic Affairs and Cooperatives Krishna Dhoj Khadka presented a new budget replacement bill of 40.95 Arbor rupees. Out of the total budget, 13.64 Arbor rupees is for the current expenditure and 22 Arbor 47 crore 15 lakh is for the capital expenditure. On a percentage basis, 33.31% of the total budget goes towards recurrent expenditure and 54.87% towards capital expenditure. Apart from that, 11.82% or 4.84 Arbor rupees has been allocated for financial transfer at the local level, said Minister Khadka. He said that the construction of the state Transport Master Plan has been completed for the formulation of systematic plan of state-level roads. Similarly, the multi-year projects and other important projects under implementation have been given continuity by ensuring resources, said Minister Khadka. To operate electric bus in Vairavaha Butwal, Kohalpur, Nepalganj, Lamahi, Valuwang and Gorahital Super Section 8 crore has been allocated.
कोभिड-19 को रोकथाम नियन्त्रण निदान तथा उपचारको लागि आवश्यक पर्ने औजार उपकरण औषधि र अन्य आवश्यक स्वास्थ्य सामग्रीको खरिदको लागि प्रदेश कोभिड कोष मार्फत खर्च गर्ने गरी आवश्यक बजेटको व्यवस्था मिलाएको छु।
Arrangements will be made to issue driver's certificate in a quick and transparent manner using digital technology in the examination and trial for driver's certificate. The replacement bill states that Lumbini will be developed as an attractive investment hub. It is also mentioned that Lumbini State Bank will be established by enacting an act to disperse agriculture and industrial credit in the state and to conduct business and programs of the state government.
Minister for Foreign Affairs Dr. Narayan Khadka has said that the MCC will be taken forward through national consensus at a meeting of the International Relations Committee under the House of Representatives. Held at Shingadarbar, Foreign Minister Khadka said that the MCC would move ahead with the national consensus only if it was in Nepal's interest. Let us watch the full news.
Minister for Foreign Affairs Dr. Narayan Khadka said that the MCC will be taken forward through national consensus. At a meeting of the International Relations Committee under the House of Representatives held at Shingadarbar, Foreign Minister Khadka said that the MCC would move ahead with the national consensus only if it was in Nepal's interest. He argued that if the MCC was not in the country's interest, it should make it its case to the United States. Minister Khadka said that the foreign policy was the mirror of the country and it should be finalized through political consensus. Similarly, Minister Khadka said that he was committed to advance international relations on the basis of national interest. During the meeting, he also informed that the discussions in the 76th General Assembly of the United Nations.
It is time for Corona update. The infection of corona has gone down in Nepal, yet the fear lurks in every breath of the people. The vaccines are available now. We should all try to get vaccinated as soon as possible. We should avoid large crowds and remain at home if there's nothing important out of home. It is best to work from home if possible. There's only one life to live. Let us make it easier for everyone. Live and let live. Let us watch the full details of the corona infection in the country.
9 people have died due to corona infection today. In the last 24 hours, corona has been confirmed in 667 people, while 911 have recovered. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, the infection was confirmed in 667 people through PCR and antigen methods performed at various laboratories. 911 people recovered from the infection of corona. According to the ministry, there are currently 15,942 actively infected people. Similarly, 8 people have died from corona in the last 24 hours. This means that 8,282 people have been infected with corona in Nepal so far. Total number of people who recovered is 7,73,140. This also indicates that total number of deaths is 11,200 until now. The number of people in quarantine is 242. 15,942 people are in isolation.
It is time for weather update. It has been sunny in the valley today. Let us watch the full details of the weather around the country.
We're at the end of the news bulletin. Before I go, let us watch the recap of the top stories of the day. With the onset of Durga Paksha, the number of devotees has increased in Shakti Peeths across the country. Butwal Chamber of Commerce and Industry Rupandehi has brought low-price market operation for Dasnai since Thursday. Nepali Congress freedom fighters are worried that the party leadership is not going in the right path. Thank you for watching Gorkha News with me, Nirmala Basnet. I'll be back with more news next time. Till then, namaste. Stay with Gorkha Television.